Sound check. Okay. Right. Okay, guys, we have few viewers in the live stream already. Welcome back to my class. It's been a slightly tiring day. Private sessions, coaching with my students, live stream with you guys for the 4 p.m. session, trading euro. And right now, we're gonna analyze gold together. Now, I've got to be honest with you. For me, usually when I'm tired, I don't really force myself to trade, just to be honest with you guys, because I want you guys to really get everything that is solid, that's authentic, and really, really, you know, if you were to listen to me to analyze the market, what I want is that I want you guys to really benefit from the analysis, right? It's just like a pilot. I know some of you guys out there, you guys are, expecting me to sort of like, give you guys some signal, give you guys some advice, give you guys some analysis for you to follow my trades. But the truth is, I'm just a pilot, that is navigating myself. So before we really dive into dive deep into fundamental analysis, I would like to share some thoughts about, what do I think about trading, about life, um, overall. I want to share with you guys about why we want to trade. I still remember that during like maybe like 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago. A book came across me, and the name of the book is actually called Rich Dad Poor Dad, written by Robert Kiyosaki. And that book, struck me so deep to a point that it reshaped how I see about work, about money, and about life overall. And one concept in that book is called the rat race. And it's called the rat race. And in that book, that rat race concept struck me so hard to a point that I could not be a really good employee to many people. I'm not shy to admit that. I'm not shy to admit that. Um, if you 10 years ago, if you hire me as your staff, I can promise you, you won't like me as a staff. You won't like me as a person as well. So back at those days, the rat race concept actually, tell me something that is so interesting, which is most of our life as a middle class resident, right? No matter what country you are, if you're middle class, you get what I mean. So you're born and raised by your parents until you're 18 years old. And then once you're 18, you graduated, you took a loan, and you go for study for universities or college, and then you're in student debt. So that you can graduate to find a job, and that job actually ends up, pay you well enough so that you can pay for your debt. And when you're trying to clear your debt, and then went to then it's about time for you to buy a car as well, right? And then when you buy a car, and it means that the vehicle that drives you to work, is the vehicle that you get your salary to pay for the car. And then you go to, buy a house when you want to get married, when you want to do all those kind of thing. And then you sort of like, take another loan to buy a house. And then you end up driving yourself, go to work to earn the money so that you can use that money to pay for your house, pay for your car, and pay for your debt. So that is what we call the rat race, right? That's what we call the rat race. And that idea struck me so hard to a point where it is so difficult for me to stay satisfied in normal work, right? I'm always angry. I'm always, thinking about, why am I here? Why am I still working for people? How can I escape the rat race? How can I escape 9 to 5? How can I not sell my time in exchange for money, where the money didn't actually contribute much for my life, but actually contributed to the mortgage, to the car, to the lifestyle that is not really mine. So we became like slave, we became like a puppet, a middle class slave, middle class puppet, where we can't really, escape from it. So that idea actually leads me to explore different kind of path, right? It leads me to explore different kind of possibilities. So it leads me to explore about public speaking. I want to learn how to, make myself valuable in not only the financial market, but also in the work field. I want to have a niche skill, right? So I know that the only way for me to really escape the rat race is to learn skill that are extremely niche, which is what we call high value skill, right? So by that time, the first thing that came across my mind is that when I look at people that make good money in any industry, right, they are all very good presenters. They are all very good public speakers. They are all very good influencers. They all understand how to put their ideas into your mind, right? They are this kind of people. And then I make a conscious decision to really learn how to uh, do public speaking, even though that I'm so afraid, but still I want to unlock that skill. Took me some time and I become a speaker. And when I become a speaker, I still didn't really get, the money and the life that I want. It's because that, I'm still being restricted by certain kind of boundary and constraint. Um, I still need to, I still need to sort of like sell my time for companies as a consultant, as a speaker. And then I make another conscious decision. How can I actually really, have this sense of control in me where I can really, don't have to deal with a lot of people, just me dealing with money and the market itself. So that is what leads me to learn trading. So that is why I want to learn trading. And yeah, it's been 6 years spending my time grinding, learning the craft, sharpening the craft. I was planning to give up, but fate actually called me back to this spot to perform this for you guys, to share what I learned along the way for you guys. And I really hope, you guys as my student, as my audience, I hope that you guys learn a few things, from my journey. Okay. So right now we have 27 viewers in our live stream. Welcome back. It is the night session where we're going to analyze what is going on with the gold market today. So before I start, I want to make sure everybody in the chat room is ready to learn with me. So we have a student, which is kind of in a rush. Sandy is in a rush, asking me in the chat box, can I short sell gold right now? Sandy, I hope you understand. If I give you an answer right now, I'm not your teacher. I'm actually your gambler friend that, invite you to go casino together. Please don't ask me such question. I refuse to answer that kind of question when we didn't do enough analysis. Can you do that? Sandy, if you're hearing this, please, if you can do that, say can, all right? Because I want you to respect the boundary. We are not here to gamble. We are here to learn, to trade, to analyze the market, to understand the constraint, risk management control. My job is to lead you guys to become stable, profitable trader in the long run. Okay, I'm not trying to lead you guys to become a gambler. So thank you, Sandy. Thank you very much for the understanding. We will not give short or long answer before we do enough analysis of what's going on in the market. Okay. Now, for other friends, we have 20 plus friends, from Australia, from Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia. Welcome back to our session. Tonight is a very special night. First thing first, I'm slightly tired after, personal coaching and also a few sessions of live stream. And so right now, I try to really work with my emotions. I try to work with my mood so that we can stay calm and we don't rush ourselves to go into the market, because my emotions will have a ripple effect to you guys, and I don't want to become a responsible teacher. Okay, so before we start, I'm going to share with you guys some basic fundamental analysis that I have. I think that you guys need to really understand. Before we start, we have Kelly Solomon from Australia. Hello, Kelly. Welcome to our class. My name is Kelvin, and I'm glad that you invest your time during Friday night in this little live stream right here with me. All right. So are you guys ready to learn with me? No matter you are from Australia, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, if you guys are ready to learn with me, click ready in the chat box and we shall start to learn together about what's going on in the gold market. Okay. All All right, guys, come on. I'm gonna share with you guys something that I think you guys will definitely like, okay? All right, now let's take a look. Yesterday, I make a short fundamental analysis for all of you in our community where the gold is being stagnant for days, even weeks at a price of $5,060, right? And today, just happened gold actually dropped, 4,000 from, it's playing around that price range between 4.9K to 5K, right? So it's around that kind of range. And I want to really invite you guys to understand what is actually going on in the market so that when you trade the gold, especially today, especially later on, it starts to make sense. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that we're going to have a brief sort of like market regime kind of understanding on what's actually going on, but we're not going to overdo it. We're going to like really try to understand, what's actually the little glimpse of what the regime is going on in the market. And then we'll try to really, really, we're going to try to trade with the environment, with the force that is actually the invisible force that's happening around the market, right? So let's talk about the pressure. Okay, let's talk about the pressure that currently gold is dealing with, right? Gold right now, for now, as of today, US dollar actually pay better interest for most of their investors. Okay, so a lot of time when we listen about gold, we know about volatility, and we say that gold is actually a good investment, a good asset for us to place, to store our money. Yes, but recently gold actually is underperforming if you compare with US dollar, because US dollar is paying 4.16%. It was 4.22%, but still it is paying very good interest rates for the market, right? For the investors. Now, you need to understand, why it moved from 4.22% to 4.16%. Well, because more people actually lend money to the US government, right? More people actually lend money to the US government. What do I mean by more people lending money to the US government? It means that investor, are gaining interest and create a very high demand to invest in US government bonds, right? US government bonds, if you invest in US government bonds, you're actually kind of like, invest, you're borrowing money for Mr. Donald Trump, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. So when the lenders, when the lenders crowd in the US, crowded in, when they go in for US bond, so when the demand is high, the US government, they don't need to offer high incentive, they don't have to offer high interest as an incentive because the demands are high. So it's like, okay, now everyone wants a piece of me and I can offer less. When nobody wants me, I offer more, right? It's that simple. So more people surging in, lending money to the US government, buying US bonds, and that's why, lenders crowd in and, it start to pay less. So it went from 4.22 all the way dropped to 4.16, right? So now the gold got a little bit of relief, but it's still not an excitement point yet. Currently, the interest rate, it drops a little. The selling slows down, but still it has a potential, it already show a little bit sign of bearish based on the drop. And I mean, it's around what, like around 60 to 100 points dollars of difference. It's a big difference, guys. So selling slows yesterday, but now selling sort of like, already have a little movement that is creating that anticipation that the market is waiting for. Okay, so before that, it's sideways, and now, buying is still weak. Okay, buying is still weak, but selling is not slow anymore. Selling is increasing the speed, it's accelerating, right? So it means that later on at 9:30 p.m. Malaysia time, 8:30 a.m. New York time, when the CPI, the CIP, sorry, the news came out, and we can really have a glimpse on what's going on, right? So tonight is about the price update of the US dollar. Now, This update is actually, telling us, what everyday cost is everyday cost, which is inflation, rising fast or slowing down. So what everyone pays for food, rent, and fuel, is it, a bigger burden to pay for it, or is it slowing down? We are talking about inflation. We are talking about, we are talking about, everyday expenses. Okay, so the report that is coming out later at 9:30 p.m. is actually going to tell us whether life is getting more expensive or not. It's that simple. It's not that complex, guys. Right? So how CPI actually affects gold? How CPI is going to affect gold? Now, first of all, I want you guys to understand, what is a CPI report? A CPI report is what we call consumer price index, right? It directly changes the gold prices. Okay, it does this by affecting the US government bonds. Okay, it directly affecting the US government bonds and how investors that are investing in the US government bond feels, right? So here's the thing: when the CPI reports comes out, if the costs rise fast, okay, when price goes up very quickly, inflation, so the US government offers higher interest on the bonds to attract buyers. Okay, if our price inflation goes up, the US government, Mr. Donald Trump, will offer higher interest so that everyone can attract buyers. So gold actually doesn't pay interest. Okay, so it becomes less appealing if you compare with US dollar. So that's why if the cost rise fast based on the latest news, well, the price might fall. Okay, which means that a potential bearish, price action will be formed, emerging, right? And I think there might be, a slight chance that is going to happen. Okay, but we're gonna look at the market and analyze through technical analysis before we do anything, right? So let's take a look at now. If costs slow down, right? Inflation goes down, slow down in the US market, and when the price doesn't rise as much, lower inflation, everybody is happy, especially the Americans, they're paying less, petrol, groceries, everything is cheaper, everyone is spending a good time. Well, this actually makes gold more attractive as a safe investment, right? Because and the price will tend to rise. Okay, so inflation goes down, gold goes up. Inflation, cost of living goes up, and gold goes down, right? So this is a thing. So this is actually what we are anticipating. Okay, now here's the thing. Maybe you guys will have the anticipation. Maybe you guys will think something like, wow, if I can really spot the news later at 9:30 p.m., I can really, can really hit that button. I can hit that button, or buy or sell button, and then I can make some quick money, guys. Well, here's the reality check, guys. As a retail trader, retail traders, well, back at those days, we are competing with institutional traders, right? We are competing with investment bankers. But today, guys, we are not competing with human anymore. So, guys, who are we competing with? We are competing with machines, brothers and sisters. We are competing with machines. So machines react in milliseconds, right? Retails see the numbers after the move already starts. So guys, if you want to be first, in like spotting the CPI, everything, and then you're gonna click that button, it's already very low. It's very slow, because it's impossible for us to really, compete with the machines. Agree with me? Everybody, if you're still with me and you understand what I'm trying to say, please in the chat box say agree, right? This is the reality check. You want to do like news trading today? News trading, back in those days as a retail trader, you need to compete with the institution. You need to compete with bankers that has insider news and news advantage that are much more advanced than you, right? And today's time, if you wanna, Muhammad says, so it's very important to stay as up to date as possible with international financial developments, right? So it's very important to stay as up to date with international financial news and real-time market development. Well, guys, to me, I think the reason why we wanna, for me, fundamental analysis is just, okay, let me put it this way. Why do we wanna, as a retail traders, as a technical analysis trader, why do we still need to understand a little bit about FA? It's just like getting to know the air you're breathing. Okay, it's just like getting to know the air you're breathing. If you go to a country, okay, if you go to a country where the air is polluted, I mean, you won't get cancer right away, right? There won't be any health issue right away. Okay, but still, if you stay that country for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even 1 year or 2 years, it will have effects on you. So for me, fundamental analysis is just because I want to feel the air. I want to understand what is actually happening in the market. Okay, it's not because that I want to use it to trade. It's just because that I want to understand what's going on, so that behind my mind, I have a subtle sense on I I sort of like understand what's going on in the big environment. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to use it to trade. And today, in an era where you have quantum trading, you have AI trading, we are competing with bots, guys. So I don't think that news hunting is still relevant for us. But still, as a trader, I think it's important, right? So for me, I propose another kind of proposal, which is still, tying back, anchor myself to the retail edge, which is, well, the hypothesis and the accurate one would be machine move first. Okay, we cannot compete with machines. Machine will definitely go faster than us, right? But retail acts later. Okay, that is fine. That means that we don't chase spikes, guys. We don't chase spikes. We don't wait for that spike and then pop, and then no, don't do that. Okay, what we do is we let the momentum form, and then we enter on structure. Okay, we're gonna use structure as our advantage. So the trading strategy and analysis that we're going to use later on is almost the same that I use for every session. That is my edge. I use key level, balance, compression, expansion, pullback, entry. That is all I use, right? So the strategy that we're going to use later is almost the same. We're going to expect a break. If there's a pullback, continue, and then we're going to use it. Okay? So guys, before you trade gold, you need to understand something. Trading gold, what is the lot size means, right? It's a slightly different than trading euro, US dollar, forex pair. Now in gold, you're actually controlling ounces, right? One lot means that you control 100 ounces, okay? 0.10 lot, okay, you control 10 ounces of gold, right? And 0.01 lot, you control 1 ounce of gold. So every $1 move in gold price is equal to $1 per ounce. So example, if you're trading 0.1 lot, gold price move $1, profit loss is $10. Example 2, if you're trading at 0.01 lot, gold price move $1, profit loss $1. Okay, so lot size equal to how many ounces of gold you control. So this is actually what I talk about gold. Now, right now, enough of briefing. I want to make sure that everyone is ready, because right now it's already 9:35. We will go into the market and see the price action of the gold market. Okay, is everybody ready? If you're ready, please type in ready in the chat box, so that we're gonna go into the market and study together. Okay. All right, let's go. 9:25. Let's see how does the market perform. Okay. First thing first, gonna show you guys some simple setup. I'm gonna show you guys the setup later on, it's fine. But today we're gonna focus on gold, because tonight is about gold, right? First thing first, let's see what is the current price gold is trading. Currently, gold is trading around 4.9K. So it's playing around the $5,000 benchmark, but still it's a huge drop, man. We went from like $5,060 all the way dropped to 4.9K 60. So it's like what? It's around $100 of a difference. Yes, it's around $100 different. Yeah. So that's the thing. And this actually shows us, a potential bearish kind of momentum is forming. But still, in order to really make sure that we are using the correct hypothesis, we're going to respect the main hypothesis that we always use, where the market always goes to balance, and then compression, and then a breakout pullback. That is what always happened to the market. Okay, so right now we're gonna use, first of all, I always start with the the weekly one, the weekly zone, where we're gonna spot some key level together. Key level minimum, we need at least 3 touches. So let's see, right here we have a level, right? So weekly key level, a very strong resistance point supporting the zone, paint it in yellow color so that we have a good glimpse on what's going on. And then more importantly, we zoom back a little to the daily time frame and see, is there, what is the relevant formation that is going on. Price try to test this area right now, go back down, and then goes back up. It seems like it wants to climb back, but you gotta remember, man, like the gold is currently going down, which means that it's weaker. Perhaps the Americans are having a really good time. Okay, so but before we add any more like narrative in it, what we do is that we try to spot the levels right here on the higher time frame so that we can have a better picture on what's going on. So remember, a key level need to earn its place in order to get the yellow color, right? So I don't simply add it to avoid bias. And let's take a look at this. So to draw key level, you need to be precise, okay? Because it's a hypothesis, right? And you want hypothesis that's reliable and as accurate as possible. Not truth, but reliable. That's what we're looking for. We have 1 touches of the wick, 2 touches, 3 touches is enough to consider that as a level, no problem. And right now we're gonna zoom in to 4 hours, keep it simple. Right here, we spot that there's actually a formation of a range. This is kind of interesting, right? Because I thought that there won't be range, but still there's a range forming. Okay, not a big one, but if it has a continuation, we might potentially trade false break trading strategy, which is okay, but still we need to understand what is the market currently doing. So potential, a field of forming a downtrend, broken the downtrend formation, and then right now it is starting to retest the market again. So right here, first thing first, let's see where is the reliable zone where it actually creates that kind of range that we're talking about. Okay, so this is the range. So we have a range already where the price is playing around this area. Okay, and then we're gonna take a look at the 1 hour. But before that, let's take a look at this one. 1 hour, right? Price is testing this zone right here. $9:30 already. Let's see how the market moves. Going up. So right now we don't do anything, okay? Because right now 9:30 p.m. The news just came out, so the market is going through like a extreme volatility right here, where all the price people that are exciting retail traders jumping all in to news trading to do nothing. But for us, we're gonna be patient and wait, because most of the time when this 9:30 when the news is up, the mistake that a lot of people make is that they go into the market and then they try to really ride that wave. But us, I don't want to compete straight on with the machines. That is why I let at least to wait around 1 or 2 candles, especially from the higher time frame, 1 hours, to really, make sure what's actually going on. So let's take a closer look on, the range. I won't be considering this as a range. Okay, I won't be considering this as a range because, if it's a range, it would be much more stable. But right here, as you can see, obviously, it's extremely chaotic, right? Volatile, chaotic, and it didn't form, a stable range that we are talking about, unless right here, I think it's a range that, is a reliable, is forming. So let's take a closer look in this chart. Let's go to 30 minutes, have a closer look at what's going on. This is not a range as well. Unpredictable, chaotic, not a very good situation where you can place big lot size to play with. I'm gonna give you the reason why. There's something that I really don't like about this market reaction and price movement, especially this one. Where it went from this sudden surge to this one. Okay, this is something that I pay attention to, and I don't like this kind of reaction because that this spike down is extremely unusual, right? It almost feels like there's a certain amount of market manipulation or some kind of quantum trading that's playing with the price. So for me, right now, I would be kind of skeptical. I would be cautious, and to be honest, from the scale to 1 to 10, um, I'm I don't really feel that it is tradable right now. I don't feel it. I don't have that confidence. Okay, I don't have that confidence to really try to make some quick, money from it. Now, in order, the only reliable level that we can use to trade the gold right now. Oh, it is too far away, man. This is too far away. In order for it to spike up again, it needs a certain kind of momentum, which is after the price update, we need to wait for it to no, not really working. Now before that, let me check about the news, guys. Let's take a look at the news. Hey chat, please help me to pull the data from the latest announcement of the CPI index from the United States government. It's already 9:30 p.m. right now. I want you to pull the latest news and tell me what's up with the news. Right now, you can just, back at those days, you need to watch what's going on in Forex Factory. You need to watch what's going on in investing.com. But right now, you can just use artificial intelligence to see what's going on, which is, oh, what a fascinating time to be alive. So inflation was expected to show a modest slowdown. Economists forecast, the year-over-year CPI to be 2.5%, down slightly from 2.7% previously, which is, well, inflation is expected to show a modest slowdown. Market reaction context. Well, it's slowing down, guys. Okay, based on the latest news, inflation was expected to show a modest slowdown, but not much. It's from 2.7% previously down to 2.5%. So, yeah, so this is basically the market expectation. Now, let's revise back to what I showed you guys just now. Okay, so what happens when the market is actually slowing down, right? So if the costs slow down, it means that gold are more attractive as a safe investment. So the prices tend to rise. Okay, we are leaning towards this section right here. Okay, cost slow down from 2.7% down to 2.5. It means that the price, the mix goes much more attractive. So we have a good glimpse of what's going on. This is, where when I say fundamental analysis plays a role. When you cannot see some really good information on a chart, it is really good to rely on, I would say, rely on the fundamental analysis to make, your analysis. So let's take a look. Let's zooming into the 5 minutes to see what's going on. Okay, so a rule of thumb in trading is this. So usually, when there's a range and then it's gonna be, there's a breakout. And if the breakout didn't pull back, it's way too far and it's much more likely to travel in continuation. So if you put that hypothesis into expectation, it means that the market right now might most probably, is going to play around this area already, because from here to climb back here is extremely hard. So the market tends to play around this area because it has formed a new range. Okay, but right now it's still have that kind of power. Now this means that we might need to move from long-term long-term trading into intraday trading. So intraday trading means that what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use a false break trading strategy to really have a closer look on what's is tradable. So false break trading strategy, is it reliable? Yes, you can trade false break right now, but for me, I need a little bit of confirmation before we enter, because the market is still playing with this zone. And let's take a look at the 30 minutes. Yeah, guys, if you're gonna look at long term, it is not tradable. Okay, but if you look at like short term intraday trading, I think it is okay for us to play a little bit of scalping, a little bit of false break trading, where we use a hypothesis where price is now gonna be in continuation, where it's gonna play with this range. You get me? Like around this range. So for us, let's take a look at the 15-minute charts. Okay, so let's take a look at the 5 minutes. Okay, is it tradable? Well, I think if you do scalping, it's okay, because right here you have a big room for you to play. When price form in this way, it usually will go for quite some time before the next move happen, right? See, it usually needs some time to wait for a next move to happen, but right now it's gonna start to play with this range. And right now we're gonna see, we need a confirmation before we do it. We have a key level right here. So what we're gonna do is gonna add alert. Okay, we're gonna scalp a little, make maybe just a few pip, not for long because of the volatility, but still it is tradable in an intraday perspective. Okay, because price is unlikely to go back up to this range. This is very low probability. So the hypothesis is that the market has decided to change its regime into continuation, where a new form of balance is being, formed right here. So we are looking at, sell trade, short trades, based on this kind of setup. So we're looking at short. So if you were to enter the gold market right now, we need a trigger point. I need it to move another 1 or 2 candles within 10 minutes. And then we're going to use a trigger point from here, right? You need to hit. Okay, we're going to use here as an entry. When you break out here, we're going to place a short trade around this area. Okay, short trade, and we can expect, it to move around slightly above, the previous. Okay, so this is actually where we are expecting to really, place the trade. We're gonna do a sell stop. So what we're gonna do is that I expect the market to play around this area, cross it. So you hang a sell stop button, XAU, USD, sell stop. Okay, a sell stop at 4.990. Okay, sell stop at 4.990. Okay, price. Yep, a sell stop would be good. Make a sell stop. Trade it. Sell stop, market execution, sell stop, place it around 4.990. All right. It's okay. Let it move. Let it move. It's fine. Don't worry. Don't rush it. Okay. It can still move. It's better that it move to another candle and then we can still enter it. Let it play around this area. Okay. Don't rush it. It's fine. We're gonna enter right here at a sell stop. So the stop loss strategy would be, we're gonna do around 5.00. Okay, take profit around 5955. Okay, okay, so we're gonna wait for another few candles to move. What we're gonna do, we wait for it to test here, and then it's gonna go up, right? And then it's gonna go down. Okay, so this is gonna be our hypothesis. If it really touched down here, it's fine. It's always good to really be patient and wait until it reaches. Okay, it's fine. If we miss it, well, technically we cannot know that did we miss it or not, because we actually don't understand what's actually going on in the market. So now here's the thing: if you want to trade XAU USD, the good news is there's a very predictable hypothesis that you can use, which is a new range is being formed right here. So we are expected, the market is going to play with this section right here, even though that is already 9:46 p.m. Okay, it's already 9:46 p.m. but still there's no big market movement, which means guys, if there's no like rapid spike up or spike down, which means that the market is currently extremely comfortable in, you know, continuing with playing right here. So when this is where this is where we're gonna do like false break, what I call, you know, false break playground, right? This is what I call a false break playground. And why do I call it playground? Because starting from now onwards, you sort of like the hypothesis that there's a new continuation is being formed, and it is really really nice for us to really trade this kind of you know, section, the range, where you can, you know, make a short trade here, and then when it reaches this level, it goes up, you do a buy, goes down, you do a sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, until the market changes regime, which, you know, is kind of rare. It's really kind of rare for this to happen. So let me ask you a question. If you were to compare, right, which one are much likely to happen? This one or this one? This is much likely to happen. 90% of the time, the market move in balance, right, in range. And only 10% of the time, market move this way. So if you will really want to trade, you know, day trading, intraday trading, it is way more better to really use, you know, a false break trading strategy so that you can, you know, make some profit smoothly. It's much more predictable, it's much more stable in this way. Okay, so this is what I call a false break playground. Potential trading point, you know, around this area. And right now we're gonna wait for a confirmation. Alert. Now before that, let me show you guys something that from Euro US dollar. Euro US dollar golden entry. We did make some profit, guys. Anyone make some profit during this area? The 4 p.m. session, we did make some profit together. You know, tights, you know, 5 pips to earn 7.5 pips. Very, very, very rapid scalping strategy that we use. But hey, we managed to do it. You know, we managed to hit the TP before the market makes its move. And for GBP USD as well, we managed to hit take profit as well before the market move. So congratulations. If you guys follow my trade and follow my analysis and make money, congratulations. It is a lucky day, and I don't put all those, you know, achievement merely by myself. It's not about me. It's because the market allows me to make that money. Okay, so right now for gold, it's still moving slightly slow, to be honest. We're gonna wait for this to be our confirmation to enter again, but right now, not yet. Now before that, let us go back to Euro US dollar. Here I'm gonna do pending. Okay, but at least for false break, at least we know that we're gonna play false break. Okay, we're gonna do, you know, a lot of false break going on starting from now onwards. Okay, so pay attention on this section. Okay, let's take a look at the chat box. Anyone? It's already the early hours of the morning in Australia now. Well, friends from Australia, I never been to a country before. I really hope that one day I go. I can pay a visit. I love one of my childhood idols is actually Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, which is your national treasure, right? I am highly inspired by him. You know, the curiosity, the passion, the love that he has for animals. I just love it. So we have like 8 viewers in live stream. It's fine. It's fine. Just chill, relax, and see how it goes. Yep, still moving. Surprisingly, it's surprisingly slow, guys. You know, the volatility is surprisingly low. You know, I was thinking that, you know, it will have some very volatile move after the data, but not yet. It's fine. Let's take a look at Euro US dollar. Whoa. No more golden. Kelly Solomon say it's amazing at Australia Zoo. I believe so. You guys have wallabies, kangaroos. You guys have a lot of snakes as well. Well, me personally, I love reptiles, guys. You guys wanna take a look at my pet? I'm gonna show you my pet. I'm a big animal lover, so I'm gonna show it to you guys. Okay. So you see that? The one sleeping right there? That is my French bulldog. And there's another one. I have two French bulldogs. One is a 6 years old and another one is a 1 years old. Okay, so I have two French bulldog in my house. My princess. Okay. And I have another creature that is beside me. Okay. I have another creature that's beside me to show you guys. Are you guys ready? Anyone want to see my pet? Anyone want to take a look at my pet? If yes, click yes. Okay, I'm going to show it to you guys. And Kelly is interacting with me. Kelly, I'm going to show it to you. Okay, I think that this is just nothing can. It's just a small, you know, small little animal compared with what you guys have in Australia. Just a moment. Guys, take a look at this one. All right, her name is Nelly. Her name is Nelly, and she's actually a leopard gecko, a 3 years old leopard gecko. Okay, and she's kind of tame, very cute, but she's a loner. Didn't like to interact that much, but yeah. And sometimes when I'm too excited in the market, yeah, thanks Kelly. Beautiful, right? It's a leopard gecko, a 3 years old leopard gecko, very chubby, eat a lot. Superworms, crickets, you name it. So yeah, back to the chart. Euro US dollar. Let's take it slowly, guys, tonight. I don't want to rush things. It's just part of the trader's life. Don't rush it. Definitely, I'm going for false break playground. Very good potential to do some scalping. False break, playing around playing around gold and US dollar, but not that volatile to be honest. But I don't know, is it a good news or a bad news? But I like it because it has range. It has this little playground for us to play to scalp around. I don't like it is because it is so scary. It is scary and it's unpredictable. You don't know what's going on. It is like there's a monster, there's a very big impulse hiding behind the candlestick, and you don't know when will it jump out and do things to you. That is what I don't like about the whole regime right now. So I don't know you guys can feel it or not, but it feels like a jungle. It's very quiet. It's very quiet. It's very peace, but you don't know what's going on, right? But still, if the lot size is small, you keep your lot size small, you keep your risk, cutting the losses short. I think it's fine. It's okay to have some fun with this range right here. Okay. Kelly, thanks for being here with me. May I know like where are you from? Are you from Perth or you're from Melbourne? Okay, guys. Yep. Gold US dollar crossing the key level. We can start to place a trade right now at 4990. Okay, I'm placing a sell stop at 4990, 4.9k, guys. Okay, I'm placing a sell stop at 4.9k. Let's see how the market is gonna react. Okay, do you guys see my position? Yep, 4.4990. Let's see how it's gonna react. All right, so it entered at 4 4989. Okay, and at 4989. Let's see to have a better look. 49. Okay, that is my entry. So let's now it's time for the stop loss. So stop loss, sorry. For this one, I'm gonna manage TP. I'm gonna set it around here. Yep, this is gonna be my TP. TP set at 4.9k, 4.964, guys. If you have already placed a trade, let me know in the chat box, okay? Take profit 4964. 4964. TP 4964. Okay, let's see how it goes. Stop loss 5002. Let's see how it performs, okay? I'm gonna watch it closely because I did place a bigger lot size for this one. So I'm gonna watch it closely. And I'm gonna use a break even, which is I'm gonna trail my profit, which means that if it reach around this section, around here. Yeah. So if it reach, to a price of 5.9 4,977, I will, move my SL to break even so that I can cap all the potential risks due to the bigger lot size. Okay. Kelly is from Brisbane, Queensland. Never heard of that. Many people went to Melbourne, many people went to Sydney, Perth, but I never heard about Brisbane, Queensland. What do you guys have there? Or is there like any different kind of culture in different kind of state? Like somewhere are more kangaroos, somewhere have more snakes. Does it work that way? Or if you go to everywhere in Australia, everywhere feels the same? Anything special that is uniquely belongs to Brisbane, Queensland? Slightly nervous right now because of the lot size. To be honest, I was supposedly want to go for like 0 point. I would go for like 7 lots, and then during an impulsive move, I went for like 10 lots, and then slightly nervous right now. That is not the risk that I'm willing to take, to be honest. So I have a confession to make. I did over trade a little bit. The actual lot size that I'm aiming for this trade is actually 7, but I accidentally go for 10. So which makes me slightly nervous right now, where I'm gonna take a closer look at the market. How does it move? If it moved to a price, if it dropped to a price of 4,977, I will definitely go for break even. But if it's not, I'm gonna take I'm gonna take some losses. That is not too sweet. It's moving against me right now. Whew. Damn. Kelly say, Kelly, I want to say thank you to you. Maybe you don't know that how do I feel right now, because it's a very I would say stimulative experience that I'm experiencing right now. Stimulating because that I just placed a very big lot size, and I'm grateful because that you talk to me like we are in a therapy session where I can like distract myself a little bit, but at the same time I still look at the price. I have goosebumps right now. So thank you, Kelly, for spending time, a little bit of culture exchange. Anything you want to know about Malaysia, I can tell you as well. Have you been to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur? Malaysia, summer, 365 days all year long. If you come to Malaysia, you can expect to have very diverse cuisine, Malay food, Indian food, Chinese food, a lot of different kind of food in Malaysia. People in Malaysia is friendly, slightly shy. We are not Westerners. Westerners are much more, they are no but want to, right? Um, Malaysians are shy. Not all of us are shy, but if you compare with Westerners, Western from Europe, white people, from the West, people are much more loud, outspoken, much more performative. Okay, but in Malaysia, we are, overall we are, Chinese are much more shy. Okay, like for me, it is not that common. For me, I train myself to become this way. I learn how to do public speaking, and English is actually not my first language. I also train myself to speak English so that I can, do business around the world. My first language is Mandarin, and yeah, like Malaysia, if you guys are here, I believe that you guys are very welcome, very welcome, because we love, culture exchange, and we really welcome foreigners around the world. So I'm not sure that you guys will like the food or not, but it's worth to try. Different diverse kind of food, you know, food that are really the flavors that are, talking about different kind of spices. If you guys have been boring about trying burgers, fish and chips, chicken chops, well, if you try Malaysian food, it will blow your mind. Yes, the food. Speaking about kangaroo, I just gave my dog uh snacks, which is kangaroo meat. Yep. Guys, um apologize, please let me like pay some attention to the market right now. Maybe 5 minutes, 5 minutes of quiet time, just chill a little bit. If you guys have any question, just write it in the chat box, because I'm really currently trying to see where the market is going. uh I accidentally took some bigger risks that I didn't supposed to take, so I have I admit I'm feeling slightly nervous right now. It doesn't mean that well, it doesn't mean that it will blow out my entire portfolio. It's just that when you're not going according to your plan, and even though, okay, here's the thing. Even if this trade I managed to make a profit, it will still consider a bad trade. Okay, even if I take profit from this trade, it will still consider a bad trade. It's bad trade because that the decision process is not strict enough. I didn't really follow my actual plan. I let the nerve get the best out of me. The actual plan is not to go full 10 full lots. The actual plan is to go you know, around like 7 lots. So even though that if I make money from this trade, I will still, you know, close it because it is still considered a bad trade due to the quality of the decision. So I get the nerve, my nervous system get the best out of me, where I'm being, you know, being too biased about this false break playground that I stated right here. So guys, learn from my mistake. Don't do that. And I hope that, you know, my mistake and can reflect to you that even experienced trader with portfolios with money are willing to lose, still sometimes I'm human. I still will have days that I make bad decisions as well. And this is actually a bad decision because this is not the risk that I want to take on for this particular position. So I'm gonna wait for it to reach around here, you know, 4,977, and then I'm gonna go out. Okay. Anyone take the trades? Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna wait for another. I'm gonna close it. Okay, I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna close the trade. I'm gonna wait for another opportunity, and then I'm going in with a smaller lot size. Okay. Apologize if you guys follow that trade. It was not my intention to go that big. Okay, I'm gonna wait for another opportunity. So right here, right now, this hypothesis is still working, which is a false break playground, what I call, where I'm gonna anticipate the market to move this way, where I'm gonna do a lot of false break trading. But because of the candlestick movement, and there's this little compression that is moving like this, I really don't like it. There's something that is going on in the market that makes me feel, it's making me feel like slightly anxious. So can I still have some fun with the false break playground? Yes, but I won't be trading that big of the lot size anymore. I don't do that. It makes me feel nervous. But I'm not gonna show you guys the profit as well because it is a bad trade. I use way too much risk to earn, you know, 3.6K. Way too much risk to do that. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that again. So Kelly say yes, it's in the local supermarket, and you say yes. Yep, way too much risk. Hmm. Are you guys feeling what I'm feeling? Like it almost feels like there's gonna be a true break, you know, going to compress and then, you know, going all the way up again and stop out. So, okay, I know what to do. Let's look for, is there any potential, you know, key level that the market might potentially, you know, spike up and retest it. But based on what I observe, it is too far away. You see, it is too far away. So if the market really wanna like make a big movement, it should be moving like sort of like this to test here. The only valid zone would be this zone, right? So if you really compare the probability, if you compare the left side, which is the spike up, spike down, and the right side, and you look at the range where you can play false break, if we really think from probability, expected value thinking, still it is okay. Maybe it's just because of my personal emotions. Maybe it's just because of my, you know, I'm tired. But if we really stick to the hypothesis, it's still a really good range for us to do some scalping, make some small money, okay, not big money. Okay, guys, I'm going in for another round. But this time I'm going in for really lower low. I'm going 50% lower for gold, going in at again. This time way lower. I'm going in at this price 5.99. I'm going in at sell stop as well. Way lower. Okay, so entry 4992, and let's see how it goes. But I did it with way lower lot size. Way lower lot size. Well, it turns into a little like intraday scalping, where we're gonna use, you know, the false break as our hypothesis. So let's see how, you know, how it goes. 4992. Okay. Stop loss probably around here. I'm gonna use a very tight stop loss. It's okay, let it float a little bit more, it's fine. Oh, got a closer position. We got a closer position. Close it. I'm gonna close the position. Not really working our odds. Slightly too volatile, slightly too unpredictable. So managed to, you know, hatch a little bit, but still not the right time for us to go in. Okay, I know what to do. Let's go back to the higher time frame and see what kind of price gold is actually testing, because I'm so curious. It seems like it's going to a price that I still didn't spot. Let's remove this. Where is it testing? Where is it testing? I'm looking, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna look for a key level that to see where is the price is currently, you know, trying to go and test. So I'm looking for a resistant key level that is strong enough to let us have, you know, a glimpse on where the market is probably gonna pull back if it's gonna, like, you know, go all the way out. So yeah, I think I see something from this level. This one I'm gonna remove it. Too many. Yeah, we do have a level here. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, guys, I think I found it. Guys, I think I found it. The level is actually, the resistance level is actually at 5,022. So let's go back to 5 minutes, and then we'll have a better glimpse on, where it might probably trying to test. Now I found it, guys. Okay, right now I'm gonna erase this one, unnecessary. So this is the range we are talking about. This is the real range we are talking about. Anyone still with me? We found it. Whew. Yes, I was feeling slightly anxious. I'm like, something is not right. It seems like the price is going to try to test a hidden invisible ceiling that I didn't spot it just now. Now I found it. It is 5022, right? Potential 5022. Wait, guys, I'm gonna share with you my thoughts. I'm gonna let my AI assistant to do that. A moment, please. Hey chat, so please tell me to write a note trading journal for my audience, my student in Telegram. So um, this is about spotting a potential resistance level at the price of 5022, which is gold, XAU USD. And I was feeling very, very uneasy when I tried to scalp it, try to trade it. My body and my mind, my nerve is telling me something is not right, because the price seems like wanna go and charging into a direction that I can't see. And then I went from 5 minutes time frame, I go back to 4 hours, and I found the ceiling. The ceiling is located at 5022, which will serve as a reference point, a hypothesis where we're gonna see it may test that and have a pullback, and then it will go on to continuation around the range. So we are talking about a range between 5022 and 4944. Okay, there's two price range. We're talking about XAU USD. It is a trading thought that I observed around 10:19 p.m. Malaysia, Singapore time. Please help me to write a note for them so that they understand where we are actually trying to use false break as a trading hypothesis. The good news about gold is that a breakout from the previous high has happened. Okay, a breakout, it went from $5,060 and all the way to around $5,000, and now the price seems to be comfortable in the range between 5022 and 4944. So it means that we have a chance to play false break, using the continuation of the balance until the next compression happens. Okay, but right now that's it for gold. I did make a few trades, but the first trade is not really a good one. I did like 10 lots. I admit I'm slightly, my nerve actually get the best of me. So even though that I make some money, 3.6K, but still it is a bad trade, a bad decision. And then I went on to place another short trade, sell at 5 lots. I lost like 2645. I still make some money, make some profit, but still overall the bad decision is the lot size, the first trade. The good decision is to really close the trade, before it I lose too much. So that's pretty much it, for my trading journal. I'm gonna wait patiently for 5022. For now, I'm not gonna touch it anymore. Back at those days, I need to type, I need to write. Now just use AI, ChatGPT. The whole trading journal is out. And for people like me, where English is not my first language, it is so helpful when I interact with my Western students. Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot so that you guys can have a good glimpse of this one. Okay guys, if you guys can see my note, my journal, please type in noted in the chat box so that we are on the same page and you guys won't, have the same mistake that I make. Ooh. Yep. Because we all want to achieve financial freedom, Aisha. We all want to achieve financial freedom. And I'm always available to share my knowledge, my experience with you guys. Thank you for responding. Okay, guys. Gold, US dollar, not touching it before it touches this section. Not gonna do anything before it touches this. I still gonna do false break trading, but before that, nothing much to do about it temporarily. Okay, so yeah, I think that's pretty much enough for today. So before we close, before we end the class and the live stream, maybe I can share with you guys something from our personal, what I teach to my student in personal coaching. Anyone want to learn decision making? Anyone want? If you want to learn about decision making, how to do, quality decision, and know how to tell the difference between good decision in trading and bad decision in trading, you can say yes in the chat box. I'm going to share with you guys a little bit context, my teaching materials from my personal training when I'm not on live stream. Okay. Okay, before the live stream ends, just a quick few tips, about what I teach in my personal VIP group, how I coach my student, and give you a little bit glimpse on, the psychology behind our trading mindset. Okay, so first thing first, trading is actually not about winning. It's not. Trading is not about winning. If you think trading is about winning, you tend to think in a way that is much more like gambling. To be honest, you're not trading. Okay, so the first question you need to ask yourself in trading is, are you outcome bias? Okay, are you outcome bias? And what is outcome bias, right? Outcome bias, okay, means that you are constantly, reacting to win and loss because you're human. You are ignoring plan and soundness. Okay, you are overvaluing lucky wins, praising poor decisions, and you're missing valuable lessons, discarding robust failures. So a very good example of outcome bias thinking is the trade that I did just now. Okay, just now I go 10 full lots for gold. I make some money, but I am outcome biased. Maybe I'm tired right now, so that is why, the nerve get the best out of me. And then I try to, like, when I'm not thinking rational enough, I'm tired, and then I start to think in outcome where, the range false break will do the magic for me, so that I'm being affected by outcome bias as well. So in order to be a great trader, you need to understand, a trade has two parts, right? The first part would be decision. And the next one would be outcome, right? It's only decision and outcome, decision and outcome. And you need to understand, decision and outcome is always not the same thing. It's not the same thing, guys. The main difference is you control one, you don't control the other. Okay, you control only one, but you don't control the other. So a trade has two parts. It is decision and outcome, but you control only one, you don't control the other. And which one do you control? You control your decision, but you don't control the outcome, right? Outcome-based thinking is like you are thinking you're too biased towards the outcome until to a point the outcome influence your trade. So for example, I I believe in the hypothesis of the false break too much to a point where I think the decision that from 5 lots went to 10 full lots, that is outcome bias, right? I'm being affected by that as well. So what is outcome? Well, outcome is, skill plus luck, right? Skill, which is the quality of the decision before uncertainty resolved, and luck would be random variation after decision is made, right? So the thing is, a lot of trader, we grade ourselves on randomness. You need to understand every result that we get is all polluted and influenced by luck. Okay, so if every result that we get is influenced by luck, how can you judge yourself by the result? Make sense? If you judge yourself by the result that you get, it means that you're judging yourself by luck and randomness. So for example, I make a bad decision just now. Even though I make profit, but I make a bad decision. So I didn't use the profit to tell myself that I'm making a good decision. The truth is, I make a bad decision, right? So I'm judging myself based on the quality of the decision, not the outcome. The outcome is making money, guys. I can show you the outcome. I make money through the outcome, but it is bad, right? It is not the actual intention that I want. I'm going to show you guys, right? Look at the chat box. Right? So I go, short XAU USD at 10 lots, and then I make some money. That is a bad decision. The outcome is good, but the decision quality is bad, right? And then I short again, in 5 lots for gold US dollar. I lose money, but the decision is good. The outcome is bad, but the decision is good. So in trading, in order for you to make money in long term, actually you need to really get comfortably with, the second decision that I make, which is to cut loss and really to take your consideration into decision-based thinking. So the question that I have for you guys is, if outcome doesn't really, define a good trade, what does? Right? If outcome doesn't define a good trade, what does? Now, if you really want to learn about what defines a good trade, feel free to contact, my personal assistant, to customer service. You can contact Grace, to really understand what are we teaching in our VIP group and what do I teach for my personal VIP clients, so that I can teach you in detail, in first principle, how do you actually make great trade, by, formulating it and supporting it with really great decisions. Okay, so I think that's probably it for today. It's a Friday night, and I wish you guys have a really good time with your family, your friends, and most importantly, thank you for spending time, 1 hour and a half with me. It was supposed to be a 2 hours live stream, but that is nothing much is going on in the market, so I'm decided to fold. And I wish you guys a very happy weekend. And for those who are celebrating Chinese New Year soon, I wish you happy Chinese New Year in advance. May you, your family, your wife, your husband, your son and children, your daughters have a prosperous, healthy, and lucky year ahead, guys. My name is Kelvin, and if you like what you heard, if you like what you learned, and you love how I teach, feel free, to visit our official account, click subscribe, follow, and I'll see you guys after Chinese New Year. So without further ado, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next stream.